Broadcasting. Yards, touchdowns. Shut your mouth, broadcasting. First round draft pick. Believe we got stats, kid. Quarterback stacking. 100-yard dashing. So tap in for the action. What teams got traction?
Welcome to the SYM Podcast Show. I'm your co-host Eric, and I'm always joined by my co-host Ron. What up, Ron?
What's going on?
You know what we do? We talk about the National Football League on a weekly basis, including the playoffs. Ron, we just had week 7. How do you feel so far about this NFL season?
Listen, 4-2 for my Steelers. I feel great. Love how the season's going. We still got a long ways to go on offense, but I can't argue with the record anymore. If this is the way it's going to be, and we can back into the playoffs somehow, playing like this, I'm not going to complain anymore.
Yes, I know that both teams won week 7, so I can't complain. We'll go over week 7 recap. We'll go over our power rankings. But first, let's hit those NFL news. And it's more like an announcement instead of news, because this is like more injury related. Watson out again. So listen, I don't want to say if you're injured, right? Mm-hmm. But they're paying this guy a lot of money. I mean, the contract is guaranteed. They gave up a ton of draft picks. He's not on the field, but yet they're winning. So what do you take? What are you saying? Keep Watson out indefinitely, or just stick with PJ Walker? What do you think?
I don't think they're going to rush him back. They're going to look long term, I think, right? It's probably the smart thing to do with Deshaun, but it is concerning that he's missing so much time. And when he was playing, it's not like he was playing all that great. So I think they want to see him on the field. They want to see him continue to develop to be the Deshaun Watson of 3 years ago, to see if he can get back to that. So the more time he misses, I think the longer it delays, that outcome. So, but to your point, they're 4-2 right now and sitting in a pretty decent spot.
Yeah, they're winning. So I don't know if this is a good thing or bad thing. I just feel like if I was the Cleveland Browns owner, I'd be like, dude, we just paid all this money for this guy. He already basically sat out all of last year because he came at the end, and then now he's injured. So out of those 5 years, really, he's only played half of the contract so far. So yeah, this is going to be one for the ages. Purdy got a concussion. Do you think this is just part of the slide? I mean, they already lost 2 in a row. Mm-hmm. What do you think? This is just an excuse, or what do you think is happening right now?
He was playing, without some of his weapons. I don't think Deebo Samuel played. I can't remember if he played this last game or not. McCaffrey's still a little bit banged up, probably. And they're playing good teams, right? So not completely surprised that his game has tailed off a little bit. I saw he's in concussion protocol today. They got a tough matchup this week, I think. I forgot who they play, but it's not an easy win. So if he doesn't play, and we'll see, still got a long ways to go before he can be cleared. But they can be looking at 3 straight losses if they lose this week. So it is what it is.
Yeah, they this week they're playing the Cincinnati Bengals.
That's right. Mm-hmm.
And the Bengals are slowly chugging along.
Right.
They're not a powerhouse yet, but this should be a good game.
Mm-hmm.
The next set of news is Levis might start this week.
Yeah.
So are they just lost all hope on Tannehill by this point?
Well, Tannehill's hurt, right? So, and right now the team's 2-4. I don't think they're tanking yet. They want to get Tannehill back out there, but he might not be ready to play this week. It doesn't look like. So at some point, whether it was this year or next year, they're going to get Levis out on the field. So it's probably coming sooner than they want it to, and because of injury. But I don't think at being 2-4 and without your options are Levis or Malik Willis, who had a horrible season last year. looked better this year so far, limited time that he's played. You probably want to take an opportunity to get a look at what Levis can do. See if you can get like a spark.
Well, let me ask you a question, because the Patriots are 2-5, and then you have the Chargers and the Broncos 2-4, 2-5. Out of those 4 teams, and then you have the Titans 2-4. Out of those 4 teams, who do you think has a chance to make it in the playoffs?
Out of you're talking Patriots, Broncos,
Chargers, and Titans.
Man.
Or maybe none of them. Because the Titans are in last place. Patriots, are in last place.
Mm-hmm.
And of course the Broncos are in last place. So
I don't like any of their chances, to be quite honest, because I think Jacksonville's going to run away with their division. They're 5-2. Probably not going to get any competition from the Texans, and the Titans and Colts aren't going to pass them. Then you got the Broncos at 2-5 with the Chiefs at 6-1. So for them to turn it around and get a wild card spot will be tough. I don't think any of those teams are going to be in it, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I agree. I'm biased, so I'll put the Patriots have a bigger chance, especially because they have a better record in the division. But I just feel like the Broncos are out. The Chargers, so much talent, and they're out. So that leaves the Titans, which, that division, it's not the hardest division, the AFC South, but I feel like the Texans are coming around, the Colts are coming around. So I don't know. We'll see. It's still more than half the season left. So
lots of games left.
Plays. Let's quickly go into week number 7. Let's recap the marvelous week that it was. And it's a good thing that we didn't do the instant reaction report, because I would have said some things in the moment that later I would walk back.
No, but you should share it, right?
No, but I was very happy on Sunday because I predicted this victory.
You did.
And the final score was 25-29. I went 21-17. You went 28-13, which, listen, I don't blame you for going with that score because there's not a lot going on with the Patriots.
Yeah.
But, and we'll touch on this. I told you that the Patriots don't tank, right? And I feel like that whole Belichick, multi-year contract, blah, blah, blah. He leaked it, obviously. He wanted to know, hey, enough with all this. I want to see what players want to buy into the system.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was like a mental, like, hey, who is going to buy into this program? I need to know because I want to be here for the next couple of years. And it worked, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was almost like stepping into a time machine. They got the lead early. They didn't turn the ball over. It was just great. I felt very, very good about Sunday's win.
So I didn't get to watch any of the game. I took advantage of a 4:00 start for the Steelers game, and I went to the beach with my wife and kid early, and we hung out for a little bit, and I saw my phone blowing up with messages, but I was like, I'm not going to pay attention to anything that's going on. But on the way back, I was like, okay, I need to be, obviously be back before the Steelers game. And I'm like, how is this possible that the Patriots are still in the game and actually leading and have a chance to win? Didn't make any sense to me. So I didn't get to watch the game, but it goes to show you, right? Divisional games, it don't matter how far apart we think the teams are. Those games are always going to end up relatively close for the most part. The teams know each other so well, and Bill's a great coach, so he's going to find ways to.
He found the weaknesses, and Buffalo, I will say this: they had a lot of injuries coming in, and they basically their whole linebacker core was full of non-traditional players like bench, rookies, blah blah blah, and Bill Belichick was like, hey, Bill O'Brien, we need to set everyone in motion. We need these linebackers to be disorganized. and it worked.
Mm-hmm.
And Josh Allen didn't really fully awake until too late, basically, because he should have scored all those 25 points in the first half, but they didn't. I think they only got 10. So yeah, it was definitely hey, we're still here, and we're gonna talk about next game next Sunday, but at least they got a victory.
You know who I'm happy for? Mac Jones, because I hear so much hate from our buddy Steve, you occasionally.
Because he hasn't earned it. One good game with what? Erases everything. Erases 2 years of like. No,
listen.
No, just one good game.
Dude is a good quarterback. Is he like all there, like mentally, like maturity and all that stuff? Yeah, but he's still young. He's got a ways to, but you can't give up on him. I think this can be what you get from him. We've seen flashes from him, right? We have. It's not like he's been terrible.
There was so many opportunities that he could have turned the ball over against the Bills, and he just either threw it away or he took the sack. And I was like, this is what we want you to do. Don't put the whole team on peril.
Don't throw across the field.
Don't throw across the field. But he did. He basically, it was a good game by him.
25 of 30.
Great game because he had to come back towards the end. So, yeah, this is what we want. This is what we want our quarterback to do. And maybe, it'll be a stepping stone.
Yeah.
The next game, Pittsburgh at Los Angeles Rams. You had 17-13. I had 21-17. Final score 24-17 Pitt. Ron, listen, you watched this game, and I just saw the highlight. Why do the Pittsburgh Steelers wait till the very, very end?
Yeah. Let me tell you, if anyone has that answer, they need to share it with Tomlin and the rest of the team. They don't have the answer. They don't know why they always seem to get off the slow starts. We both had, like you said, Pittsburgh to win the game. It didn't look like that was going to happen after that first half. I think it was 9-3 was the score. And it's not to say that we're playing awful that first half. We just couldn't finish any drives at all. It was a little bit of a struggle. They came out with the right attitude, but we just couldn't manufacture points. So we got really lucky that our defense stepped up. TJ had that huge interception right out of the first half, and that got us our first touchdown. And then from there, Kenny did what he needed to do. That we started to run the ball. He was very efficient. Towards the end, the third and fourth quarter passing, and we were able to score and win it. So,
but you guys are not. I wouldn't consider that you guys are dominating. Listen,
oh no, absolutely
not. And I want the Steelers to win this division because I picked them. But you guys only had 86 rushing yards. That's not dominating. LA Rams had 135 rushing. So why are teams running against you?
We ran the ball well. And I know it doesn't show up. If you look at the box score, you just look at the average. It doesn't look well, but you take away the Kenny Pickett, 8 carries for no yards. We ran well. I think it's over 5 yards per carry. So I think, and looking at the game, it wasn't perfect, but they looked a heck of a lot better in terms of executing, being physical, and finishing plays. And then there were some twists in the offense. Matt Canada out for the bye week, added a few little sprinkles of something, different things.
Then you had 8 penalties for 76 yards. A lot of penalties.
Yeah, we did, but some of those were some questionable calls.
Listen, this whole year the referees.
Yeah, it's been terrible. We got away with a call at the end. Potentially with the quarterback sneak. It looked like we fell short. They gave us the first down. That basically ended the game. Right, sealed the deal. So referee officiating has been horrible. But I'm not gonna. No one's gonna apologize for it. Tomlin's not gonna apologize. A win's a win. We traveled out to California and got the win. So listen, to your point, this team is barely winning. They're finding ways to win. They still don't have the answer. They haven't played their best game as yet. They're far from it. But, they're in a good position now. And if they can just build on, every single week, just build on the last week, then, watch out for the team.
And I kind of seen this before from the Steelers, and I'm gonna anchor back to 2020, where I think that was Roethlisberger last year.
Mm-hmm.
The team went 12-4, but lost in the wild card to the Browns. But they were like the worst 12-4 team you could possibly go against, because they were winning, but they were winning like this. They were winning ugly. You were like, I mean, it was like, can you guys just be dominant for one time?
Mm-hmm.
And I want them to be dominant. I want them to be like, just have a great game from the first quarter to the fourth quarter. That's what I want from the Steelers.
That's what we all want. But I think, and it wasn't Big Ben's, that wasn't his last year, but, I think we all want that for the offense, especially, but that's not going to happen given that you got a quarterback that's only in his second year, a running back that's really only in his third year, a George Pickens, like a receiver that's in his second year trying to figure it out. Calvin Austin didn't play at all last year, so it's really his second year. A tight end is in his rookie year, right? Offensive linemen that are new to the team. It's just not, to be fair, if you look at it from that perspective, it's going to take some time, regardless of who the coordinator is. It's going to take some time for us to be dominant again. Can we be better? Should we be better? Absolutely. Our performance offensively has been inexcusable. We shouldn't be as bad as we've been this year. And that, falls at the feet of Canada and the players. But at the same time, if you look at the big picture, I think there's lots of hope for this team to do well a year from now, 2 years from now.
Let's go into the upset special, because you had San Francisco at Minnesota 23-34. They ended up losing. Minnesota won 22-17.
Mm-hmm.
This is the second loss for Brock Purdy.
Mm-hmm.
So has he fallen down? Like, forget the MVP talk.
He should have never been in the MVP conversation. Let's start there.
Forget the whole, because they were praising him during the telecast. So is he now just a regular quarterback?
No. Listen, he's not. He's a good quarterback. Let's just all say he's a good quarterback. He's not an MVP quarterback, right? He's not a great quarterback, but he's a good quarterback. And just because he went out there and had a couple bad games, again, missing some of his best players, and, against real good teams, let's not completely, diss him either and drop him. I think he's a good player. He just ran into anything, like we talked about, he's going to run into another good team. So I had Minnesota winning, like you said, 24-23. I thought it was a good opportunity at home for Minnesota to go out there with the crowd noise and everything, an injured San Francisco team coming in. It was just a good opportunity for them to win. That's what they did. So I'm not surprised. That was my upset special, and I'm not surprised that the Vikings pulled it out.
My upset special was Chargers at the Chiefs. I wanted the Chargers to win 24-17. Instead, they played terrible. They lost 31-17. I'm done with this Chargers team.
Yeah.
I watched them 2 weeks in a row. Watched them against the Chiefs. Watched them against the Raiders. It's
the coaching.
Excuse me, against the Cowboys, and it was terrible. And like you said, Staley, I don't know how long he's going to be there for.
Yeah.
Because you got skills, got offensive player talent in the offense.
Mm-hmm.
You got talent in the defense. What else do you want?
I think a little bit is play calling, and a little bit is the player personnel. They have good players, just not the right. They don't have any, if I look at the Patriots, same problem. You don't have anyone. Actually, you have Douglas now that can stretch the field. That's the problem with the Chargers. They like to play the short game. That's where the receivers are good at. They got tall receivers. But his arm, the quarterback's arm, is meant to throw downfield. You don't have the right receivers to match that. So I don't know. They got to figure out what to do offensively. It's been a disappointment. They've underperformed, I'd say, the last couple years. So wouldn't shock me if they go in a different direction at the end of the season.
Yeah, I wouldn't, and I think I texted to you guys. This is where I would see Bill coaching if this wasn't for this lucrative multi-year. I mean, this team is prime. It's prime for Bill Belichick, but I guess he's gonna stay with the New England 2 more years. So, do you want to go into week 8? Or do you want to do the power ranking?
I guess let's talk about week 8 first.
Week 8, Ron. We got New England at Miami. What's your score?
Miami is going to win this one. 9.5 point favorites. Is that right? Still in Miami. I got Miami winning 31-20. So putting up 31 points, winning by 11 is what I got.
I have Miami losing because I feel like they're going to build on this victory. And Miami, listen, I looked at Miami and then I was like, let me see who Miami has beaten.
No one.
Nobody. Nobody. They won against the Chargers. They won a close game against the Patriots. They pummeled Broncos, and then they won against the Giants, and they won against the Panthers. I think that we can win in Miami. I'm not scared. He missed practice today. He might not make it. I doubt that. He always makes the game. But the defense is not really what I thought it would be by now. And I feel good. I feel good about this game.
Okay.
So I got a final score 24 New England, 17 Miami.
Must win, right? At this point?
It's not really a must win because I predicted that they're not going to make the playoffs. It's just a matter of can Bill have the players buy into the system? Okay. I mean, that's all that it comes down to. Is it now, if they win this game, we're back, baby. Hope is back, baby. Like what they say, don't let us win the next game. Don't let Petey win the next game.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I got them winning. Jacksonville at Pittsburgh. Jacksonville saved by 2.5. What do you have?
Yeah, I got Jacksonville winning. I do. I think Pittsburgh, like I said, they played better last week, and I think they'll continue to play better this week. This game's in Pittsburgh. Jacksonville's favored by 2.5. I got them winning 24-20. I just think Jacksonville is a tough team. A little bit like the Rams, but better. Much more, besides Nakua, probably better receivers. Certainly a really good tight end. I think it's going to be too much for our secondary. And they also have a good running game. So I'm a little bit worried about what Jacksonville can do offensively. So I got them winning. And they're coming off a bye, too, which is, the other reason. So I think they'll be ready to go. And I can see Pittsburgh dropping this one.
I got Pittsburgh winning because I think they dropped the ball against Houston. It's a home game. Yeah, Jacksonville just came back from London. I just don't know what Trevor Lawrence's condition is. I know he was supposed to be hurt, but then I saw him running, sprinting during the game. So was he just faking it or was he really hurt? And I'm not buying into the Jacksonville defense yet. So I see them winning this game 24-17. I think that's what I wrote. Let me just check. Yeah, I got them winning 24-17. I think that it's going to be the same thing. The first half, they're going to play terrible. And then the second half, all of a sudden, it's like, I don't know. Somebody said that maybe Matt Canada doesn't pull out the right sheet during the right time. I don't know what's going on, but this is every game. They look terrible the first half, And then I don't know what happens in halftime. Pittsburgh looked much, much better. So, yeah, I have them winning this game. What do you have for your upset special?
Yeah, so it talked about San Francisco, and I don't know if Purdy's going to play this week. Right now, they are a 5.5 point, or at least they were a 5.5 point favorite. I don't see the line anymore. I don't know if you can see it on your end, but when I was looking at this, San Fran was a 5.5 point favorite. I had Cincinnati winning on the road 23-21.
Yeah, I don't see San Francisco losing 3 in a row, but this is definitely a good game.
I see. It's dropped to 3.5 now.
Okay. So, yeah, that's the threshold.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're there.
Mm-hmm.
Like I told you at the beginning of the show, I'm done with the Chargers. So I picked Chicago beating the Chargers at the Chargers' hometown, 24-21.
No Justin Fields.
I don't even know if they get to that many points, but no Justin Fields.
Won't matter.
I like the guy that's replacing him. Listen, I saw him interview right after the game. He sounded like a Southern boy. I don't know what college he went to, but he was like, "Hey man, I'm just happy to be here, blah blah blah," and it was genuine. It was like, "Oh, he's just happy to be there." I think he got the game ball. I trust him better than Justin Fields. I don't think that Justin Fields is going to throw as much as this dude is going to. So I have them winning 24-21. And again, it might not be that high scoring because the Chargers, they just let me down so much. I don't even know where to start. So let's look at our top 5 power ranking. Ron, who do you have?
Yeah, so San Francisco I had in the top 5 last week, and I just mentioned that I see them losing again this week, so they fell out of my top 5. I got Philly number 1, Kansas City number 2, Baltimore number 3, the Dolphins number 4, Detroit number 5.
Yeah, San Francisco, 2 losses in a row. They fell out too. I have KC at number 1. Philly number 2, Baltimore at 3. Then I'm actually putting Jacksonville, even though I'm down on them this week. I actually think that they deserve to be there. That's the only one that's different from yours. You have Miami. I just feel like Miami, I have them down this week. They just lost to the Eagles. I think that they're not a top tier team, to be honest with you. They can't
Miami?
be the good teams. So I don't know.
It's a small sample size, right? They've
7 weeks already.
Yeah, but they've only played one good team, right?
They played two good teams. They played the Bills, who got smacked around, and then they played the Eagles, which I wouldn't say they smacked them around, but there was a lot of officiating calls that went the Eagles' way. But I don't know. I don't feel like as confident in Miami as I do in Jacksonville. That's why I have them in the top 5.
Okay.
So I know we both have Detroit as number 5.
Yeah.
I mean, is it a bounce back game for them?
Yeah. They play the Ravens, right? Again, my team to win the AFC North. They were missing their top running back that game. And it's a non-conference game, right? They've probably never seen anyone like Lamar play before, if you think about it. They just weren't, they were probably shell-shocked at Baltimore's offense and Lamar Jackson because he had a field day against them, and they didn't know how to react. I think they'll bounce back. I still think they're one of the top 3, better teams in the NFC. So, we got them 5th. We both got them 5th. I think it's a good spot for them.
Yeah, they played the Raiders on Monday night. Again, like I ask you guys, why are in Las Vegas so many primetime games? They're not a good team. So why? I just don't get. Sometimes the NFL schedule is like weird. They should definitely flex this game. No disrespect to Detroit, but the Raiders should not be on primetime.
Yeah, and neither should the Bears. And Chargers on Sunday night.
Another one. Why are they on prime time? It's almost like NFL does it to like appease the owners, but the fans don't want it. So why even do you want people to change the channel because these two teams stink?
Well, I think most people, I guess, still tune in no matter what. I've been like,
I mean, if I had a choice between watching the Bears and Chargers and watching a competitive NBA team, you damn right I'm switching over because I'm not watching this trash.
well, you know me and basketball and baseball. Like, talk to me after the All-Star break because I know it's game 1 today. The Celtics are playing. I don't give a dang win or lose. You know, I'm not paying attention till we get to the All-Star break. So I'm going to most likely watch football. Now, some of these games, to be honest, like I've tuned out or I'm like doing something else as the game's on, not really paying that much attention to it.
I mean, who's watching the Jets-Giants game?
New Yorkers.
And that's it. And that's pretty much it. And then, I mean, there's some games like, I mean, the Browns-Seahawks should be a good game. But then, like, Chiefs-Broncos, who's watching that game? It's like Ravens-Cardinals, who's watching that game? I know that this is, you know, they're not primetime games, but I'd rather watch the Browns-Seahawks than the Chargers-Bears. I'd rather watch, you know, the Bengals-49ers and the Raiders-Lions. It's just, I mean, it's common sense, but I don't know. When do they start flexing?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know the rules, you know, for flexing. I'm not sure. And I don't know if I don't think they can flex out a Thursday night anymore. Can they? Flex? I think it's only Thursday Sunday night, right?
I think it's Sunday nights.
Yeah. So I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I know the trade deadline is next Tuesday, and it's a day after we record. So, do you have any candidates? Do you have any teams that definitely need to bolster up during the trade deadline, or?
Not really, but I know there's some teams that are shopping players, right? So, I think teams like Denver have been shopping players. There's rumors. I've seen multiple rumors about Tennessee, right? Wanting to shop Derrick Henry, for example. So there's definitely some teams that are looking to sell at this point and get themselves in position to have picks for next year. So they can, if they need to trade up for a quarterback or something, they can do that. Now Denver's probably one team that, well, I guess, would Denver do that? With Russell being there, I don't know what his contract looks like, but there's definitely going to be some teams that want to trade up for quarterbacks. There's going to be some teams that want to just accumulate picks because they want to get a bunch of players or trade back if a team wants to come up for a quarterback. So, you know, for the Steelers, you know, I can tell you we need some defensive back help. We need a cornerback. I'm hoping we can pull the trigger on someone, but I don't know who that is, and I don't know if it's going to happen.
Yeah, listen, when it comes to the trade deadline, it's kind of weird because obviously the Panthers, there's no chance in hell.
The Panthers, no team selling.
That they're going to make any noise at all. But I feel like they already sold their picks to draft quarterback, right? So it's like, I mean, what's the trade deadline buzz? I mean, it's Minnesota. Because I heard Minnesota might be a seller's come the trade deadline.
Yeah, that's true. So they probably not. I think Cousins is up his contract, so they most likely will not extend him, which means they're going to be looking for a quarterback. You know, so I don't know.
Yeah, this is until it happens, because I know this is like behind the scenes, right? They start wheeling and dealing and all that stuff, but. Listen, I think this Sunday is going to determine where the New England Patriots are. If they lose this game, I can see it, but then it is Bill Belichick's team.
You think they're going to, if they lose, they're going to sell?
I don't see it. I don't see it. Even if they, you know, even if they lose by a lot and they're like, hey, you guys need offensive players. Nope. No, they just won't do it. anything else for the fans out there that you wanna share?
No, man, I'm just excited for the weekend. I know the games this week aren't going to be that exciting, but this is a good matchup with the Steelers and Jacksonville. Should be a great game. Same with the Patriots and the Dolphins. So it's a very good weekend to watch football if you're a fan of those teams. And I think for both of our teams, there's a lot to play for. So it can go either way. The season can for the Patriots if they win or lose. And the Steelers, too. If we lose this game, it can go either way for us. So,
no, and going back to, you were right. Last year, Ben Roethlisberger was 2021. That's when they went 9-7. Because I remember I watched that playoff game at your house.
Yeah.
And the Chiefs just demolished them. But this is what I'm saying is like, Steelers, can you be dominant?
No.
Can you be dominant?
It is going to take some time. And I think we are in a world where every fan wants instant gratification. They want that quarterback, that rookie year, the second year, just to take a huge leap and make the team so much better. That doesn't happen. It doesn't, right? There's so much more involved in making a good team. You have to have the players around you, the coaching staff. It has to be the right mix of players, too. It can't be all young players like I just talked about with the Steelers. You got to have some veterans in there that can keep the team together, make them, keep them focused, come out with the right attitude every single week, week in and week out. So there's a lot that goes into having a good team, a great team. We're not there yet. We got some good pieces, but it's going to take for some time for our team to gel.
I just want them to have a home playoff game. Like, they have a bigger chance to win if they win that division. They have a home playoff game. Because, listen, you said the Steelers have a great, great fan base. And I feel like, hey, use that to your advantage. Use that to your advantage. Play at home. Get that fan base all riled up. Forget about Matt Canada.
Yeah. Well, I don't back regardless of what happens. We can go to the playoffs, win in the playoffs. I don't see him coming back. But we're a long way away from. Well,
you said that. This is like the last year, right?
Yeah, it's his contract's up, so they haven't renewed it yet.
Yeah, it's just. I wish that things could progress, from seasons from within the season, because we are in October, right? This is the time where the preseason shouldn't matter now. Like, the offense should be clicking. And I don't want to compare the Steelers to the Kansas City Chiefs, but look at the Chiefs. Their offense has been improving from week to week. Like, he's trusting the receivers. He's trusting the running backs. Like, it's just... I wish Andy Reid just coached all NFL teams the way he does. And that would be perfect. So if you're a Patriots fan, listen, this is the week where we have to believe. Forget the Bills have their own problems. So I knew that there was a chink in the armor. With Miami, they're home. This is going to be a really tough game. But I see them winning this game.
No cornerbacks on your team right now, right?
No, we got Jack Jones back.
Okay.
And then we have, Miles Bryant, who comes in. So I think that this team, even though they don't have the best offensive players, it's enough. It's enough. For some reason, Barmore now is like fully awake now. I mean, again, like you said, some of those flags were like, come on, man. You can't even touch a quarterback nowadays. And I told you about flag football.
Yeah.
This is eventually going to turn into flag football.
Yeah. I think the fans will vote if that happens.
Listen,
the players will vote.
I'm telling you, it's going to be flag. The more rules that they implement about the don't touch the quarterback. Oh, this is PI. This is a late hit. He was not ready for it.
I think that's the biggest problem is the competition committee. they should just like disassemble that whole group, because all they do every year is look to put in new rules and they, quote unquote player safety, but it's really about making the offense better, protecting like certain players like quarterback, so you can't touch them basically. That's all it's about at the end of the day. So, and the rules too, it's not that the rules are bad rules, it's just extremely tough for officials to ever enforce properly.
The same thing. It's very easy to say get rid of the committee, but it's mostly made up of owners, right? Owners or past players or whatever the case might be. I just feel like every year they tweak it a little bit, but not in the defensive favor. Never.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, we're just going to watch old film of like NFL.
I think they need to remember it's a tough sport. Players get hurt, right?
Yeah.
Injuries should be expected, right? You can't say don't tackle someone high, don't tackle them low. You just got to let them play. Yeah, there's a difference between targeting, like purposely trying to knock people out, and then, two players going at each other 100 miles an hour and you just happen to glance their head. That's accidental, right? So, I think every official should be able to tell the difference. But now it's to a point where, you can't breathe on the quarterback, like you said. If there's incidental contact, because the players, the plays are bang, bang, they're throwing the flag still.
Terrible.
They want to, players are complaining about the, getting tackled low now. So who knows what's going to happen there? I don't know.
Not only that, but then the CBA, and I'm not knocking the CBA, but every year they also tweak it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you know what? They deserve to have Monday and Tuesday off. Oh, Wednesday, it's full pass, but not really. Thursday, if they in the injury report, they're not going to participate. Friday, it's kind of a walkthrough,
mm-hmm.
and then Saturday, usually the travel day. So it's like
one full practice.
Yeah, so like full practice basically.
And then you wonder why you get hurt, right? So
yeah, it's you know what, flag football.
Mm-hmm.
Not maybe 5 years, but maybe in 10 years, when all these rules are and you're like, I'm not allowed to even touch the guy anymore. I'm not allowed to even touch the guy. So, yeah. Listen, what I'm saying is, reel it in, soak it in, because in 10 years, they'll be wearing those little belts inside.
Oh, I hope not.
Oh God, that'd be terrible.
Mm-hmm.
That'd be terrible. All right. So, anything else left to say?
That's it, man.
All right, man. In that case, I say peace.
Peace.
Hey guys, thanks again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Any questions or comments, feel free to hit us up on Shut Your Mouth Podcast at gmail.com. That's ShutYM Podcast at gmail.com. You can also hit us on Twitter or on Instagram at SYM Podcast. Thanks again.